This past few weeks, I've been thinking a lot and reflecting on about my life, and pretty much just everything that has happened since I was just a little kid. And one of the things that came coming back to my mind was the differences between who I am right now and who I was back then. By this, I mean how outgoing I was when I was little. And more than just outgoing, it was more about me being an extrovert. And I'll just tell you like a small story about who I was as a kid. When I was like around 7 to 10 years old, 7 to 10, let's call it that. I remember me being just somebody who would make a lot of friends and just a really outspoken person. And I remember one time I was going with my family on holidays, and we went to this hotel. I was down at the pool and I wanted something to drink. So I went to the pool kind of bar, and there was three, by that time I would consider them elderly, but I think they were like in the early 40s probably, maybe early 50s. And I would just start talking to them, and I would just be casually making conversation with them, with the bartender, and pretty much with everyone who was there. And I remember going back to my family, and they were like, "Who are you talking to?" And I would just be like, "Oh, I was talking to this guy and the other dude, and we were talking about this and that." And I would just be so like outgoing, which at the moment didn't seem like a huge thing, you know? I would just go there, talk to them, be friends with them, and the next day I would just be at the pool and met 3 random kids my age. And then suddenly I would just come to my parents with a bunch of dudes following me. And I would be like, "Oh, this is my new friend and my new friend." Fast forward a couple of years, I started noticing a random pattern. I would just go out and talk to people, and they would become my friends. And my brother and I have always been really close together. And so what I started noticing is these friends would rather hang out with my brother than myself. And at first, I didn't think much of it. We would hang out at the same time with everyone. So it really didn't seem like that big of a deal. Few months later, or maybe like 1 or 2 years later, I started asking myself the question of, why am I making all of these friends if they end up hanging out with my brother more than me? Because at that point, he's older than me. So at that point, they would start making plans without me. Like these friends would be like, "Hey, do you want to come over to this place and hang out, or go to the gym, or go like on a small hike or something," with my brother, not with me. And though I got invited afterwards, it started like planting this seed of saying, why am I being the one invited like after everything had happened? Like they made the plans, they hang out with my brother, and they decided to do this. Why am I being the last one to be invited to, when like we guys are friends because I started talking to you? Fast forward, I started declining everything, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just go back to my room. I'm gonna just isolate myself from everyone. And I'm not making any friends anytime soon or ever. Because what's the point of making friends if those friends end up going with somebody else? I've never had anything against my brother. I love him very much. I still do. I'll always love him. And I never blamed my brother for that. I always blamed the other guys. Disclaimer, because I know he's going to be watching. And so at around 13, 14, I completely isolated myself. And I was, you know what? I'm done with this. I even isolated from my family. And that created a second problem without me actually realizing it.
Hold on, I need to turn this thing on because I'm losing my mind with the amount of heat that it's coming from here.
Oh, we're back, sorry. What ended up happening is my dad would be like, "Hey, do you want to go get some tacos, or do you want to go out for a walk?" And I would always say no, like, "No, I'm good. I'm going to stay in my room." And As time went by, I started noticing that when my brother would ask for something, there would always be a yes. And when I would ask for something, there was always something like, not now, or there's no money, or we can afford this right now. And I'm not saying all the time. Thank you. What ended up happening is I started telling myself the story that everybody else got a yes but me. And by far, that was my biggest downfall. Simply because I started creating a belief system that would say you're not worthy of certain things. If I wanted to travel or do something, it would be like, this is not for you. Like, you've always gotten no's. Why do you think it's going to be a yes now? And fast forward, when I was like 18 years old, I had just quit college and I wanted to play tennis. Because for me, it was all about traveling the world, doing exercise, and earning money in the process. That was the whole motivation. And I think, well, I don't think, I know that's the reason, one of the reasons why it failed so badly. Because I was looking for an escape. And that escape was just me traveling around the world. And what ended up happening is I started repeating myself that I was not worthy of achieving certain things, that I wasn't worthy of getting, quote unquote, the good things in life, or that I wasn't worthy of doing this or that, because there was always a no. A few years went by, I tried a bunch of things, tried to make money online, tried to find a job, and nothing really seemed like this is for me. A few years later, I met this amazing guy, Storm, and I met him through one of the countless programs I bought online to make money. The reason why I bought this is because they would offer you something that I didn't have at the time with any and every of the things that I wanted to do. What I was offered was one-on-one coaching with a coach to help you move through life and to help you move through the things you wanted to achieve. So we would make a plan and he would guide me through it and all the steps. And the first time I bought the program, I started doing things, but there was a lot of people and not that many coaches. So I did have a few calls with him, and then it all stopped because we were like, I think it was like 20,000+ people, and I think it was like few coaches only. So I lost track of him for about 2 years, year and a half, almost 2 years. And then I saw him upload a story, an Instagram story. So I DM'd him, I got into his email list, and he was working with one of the top people in the industry at the moment. And for me, it was challenging because it made me just question everything. And I was like, why is he quitting this company to start his own when he's doing great, when he's working at the highest of levels? Like, it didn't make sense to me. But at the same time, it was more like, if he can do it, if he's willing to do that and bet on himself, why can't I? And I sent him a DM, I think it was March. I sent him a DM March 2025. We started working together on April 14th, if my if my memory is correct. And at that time, I was just like, I don't know what I wanted to be. My mind was still going for the whole traveling thing. Part of me was just still on the running kind of issue. Like, I wanted to run for myself. I wanted to get away, not having to worry about making friends. And it was just, you know what, run away, be in a place, stay there for a month, then move, and then you don't have to create like an actual relationship with people. And at some point, it was just like, no, I'm done with that. I chose what I wanted it to be. I decided to go for the thing that hit me the most. And it was that I don't feel worthy of it. I don't feel like I deserve it. And so I created Unshaken. Unshaken is an 8-week program designed to do that. Talking the storm and realizing all the things that had held me back, because I would just start something, really go into it, and like all the way in, and I would just be head on working on that thing. And the moment where the final steps need to be taken, I would just back down. And it all came back and where it was tied up to me not feeling worthy from all past experiences. And so I was talking to Storm and I was like, I want to focus on that. What to do when you feel stuck in life, whether it be life, career, school, what to do in life, what's my purpose in life, all of that. I was like, I've noticed that it is the same pattern, no matter what the subject is. The problem is not the subject, the problem is the person, their belief system, their habits, everything that goes within someone's head, it's what's stopping them. And so with that, I decided to build everything. Like, okay, this is what I wanted to do, to talk about. I want to help people doing this. And with that, Unshaken was born. Unshaken was born not because I wanted to create something to sell. Unshaken was born because at some point in life, I wanted the help that Unshaken gives. I didn't create Unshaken just to help you get the purpose out of your life or find out what is happening within you. I created Unshaken to help younger me understand that I'm worthy, understand that no matter what happens in life, there's always a way out. And how to get that, how to get there. I built Unshaken because it's the help I would have loved to have when I was 12 years old, 14 years old, 17 years old. And it has helped me tremendously. I still battle with a lot of things. I still struggle with a lot of things. It's not just about me. It's not just about me anymore. It's about the purpose that God placed in my life. It's about teaching other people what it took me almost 20 years to learn. Don't get me wrong. It's not easy. It's not simple, but it is worth it. I have been working on this for a while now. It's been taking me 20 years. It's going to demand everything from you. Because in one of those talks I had with my coach, we were talking about a lot of things, and one of the things was, we are not building someone new. It's not like you're gonna get motivation now, or you're gonna get like your purpose out of nowhere. No, it's not that. It's something really simple, but at the same time, extremely difficult. And what I mean by this is, we're not turning you into someone new. We are going back to who God made you to be. Because along the road, we started placing masks to protect us from different things, from different scenarios, from rejection, from heartbreak, from everything that you can think of. You start putting on a mask of saying, oh, I am strong, oh, I am confident, oh, I don't need this, or I'm not going to suffer like this, or I don't feel like this. And in putting all those masks, you hit or pushed away your life's purpose. Sometimes by choice, sometimes by accident. And what this program was built around was exactly that. We are not turning you into someone new. We are breaking off all of those masks, and we're going back to who you are. We're going back to who God made you to be. And that is why it's so simple, because you don't have to turn into something else. You're not turning into someone new. You're going back to who you've always been. And that's the difficult part, because taking off all of those masks takes time, takes effort, and takes pain. But it is worth it. And when you take off all of those masks, you start realizing your purpose, why you're here, what really inspires you in life. And you understand that no matter